Welcome to Emma's English. Welcome back to Emma's English Talk, your daily channel for mastering real-world English. I'm your host, Emma. Today, we're going to watch and listen to a conversation about optimizing your morning routine for better focus. First, just sit back, relax, and try to catch as much as you can. Don't worry if you miss a few words. We will break down the key vocabulary in our word tour later in the video. Ready? Let's dive into the dialogue. I used to wake up, grab my phone, and immediately start scrolling through emails, which completely ruined my focus for the rest of the day.
That sounds incredibly familiar. And I think most of us fall into that trap because our phones are the first things we see on the nightstand.
Exactly, which is why moving my phone to another room was the biggest game changer for my morning productivity.
I actually started using my smartwatch to track my sleep and wake me up with a gentle vibration, so I do not even need my phone in the bedroom anymore.
That is a brilliant workaround because it eliminates the temptation to check notifications before you have even gotten out of bed.
It really does help set a calmer tone. And then, my absolute priority is heading straight to the kitchen to start my coffee ritual.
A lot of people rely on that first cup of coffee just to wake up, but it sounds like you treat it as an actual ritual.
I definitely do. And I recently invested in a professional-grade grinder and started experimenting with specialty beans, like Blue Mountain, to make the process more intentional.
Taking the time to manually grind the beans and brew a high-quality cup forces you to slow down and be present.
The aroma alone is enough to wake up my senses, and focusing on the exact measurements and water temperature feels like a small meditation.
It is fascinating how a simple daily task can become a mindfulness practice if you pay attention to the details instead of rushing through it.
What does the first hour of your day look like now that you have banished your phone from the bedroom?
I replace that screen time with physical movement, usually just a brisk walk around my neighborhood to get some fresh air and natural sunlight.
Sunlight exposure early in the morning is supposed to be incredible for regulating your circadian rhythm and boosting your energy levels naturally.
I have noticed a huge difference in my energy, and I usually use that walking time to listen to an audiobook instead of music.
Audiobooks are a fantastic way to consume information, especially if you have a digital workflow setup that syncs your progress across all your devices.
I rely heavily on my cloud storage to keep my audiobook files organized so I can seamlessly pick up right where I left off on my phone.
That level of organization removes all the friction, making it so much easier to stick to the habit of learning something new every morning.
Habit friction is a huge hurdle for most people, because if your new routine requires too much effort, you will inevitably fall back into old patterns.
That is why I always prepare my coffee station the night before, making sure the machine is clean and the scale is ready to go.
Setting out your clothes or prepping your breakfast the night before is like giving a gift to your future self.
It really is, especially when you work remotely and the boundary between your living space and your workspace is completely blurred.
Remote work definitely requires stronger boundaries. Otherwise, you might find yourself checking work messages while you are still making breakfast.
I used to be guilty of that, which is why my smartwatch is set strictly to fitness tracking and health metrics during the first 2 hours of the day.
By protecting those first few hours, you are playing defense against everyone else's urgent requests and prioritizing your own well-being.
I love the concept of playing defense with your time, because our attention is constantly being pulled in a dozen different directions from the moment we wake up.
If you win the morning, you win the day, and creating a structured routine gives you a sense of control over your schedule.
Sometimes things do go wrong, like if you oversleep or have an early meeting. So I try to keep my routine flexible rather than rigid.
Flexibility is key, because if your routine is too strict and you miss a single step, you might feel like the whole day is ruined.
I have a shortened version of my routine for those busy days, which just includes a quick cup of coffee and 5 minutes of stretching.
Having a fallback plan ensures you still maintain that baseline of self-care, even when your schedule is chaotic or you are traveling.
Maintaining a routine while traveling is a whole different challenge, especially when you are dealing with different time zones and hotel environments.
I find that keeping one small anchor habit, like listening to my audiobook while I get dressed, helps ground me no matter where I am in the world.
That makes perfect sense because your brain recognizes that familiar cue and signals your body that it is time to start the day.
We have talked a lot about what to add to your morning, but sometimes the most powerful changes come from what you choose to eliminate.
Eliminating the news or social media right after waking up was difficult at first, but the reduction in my daily anxiety levels was immediate.
Consuming negative information right away puts your nervous system on high alert, which is the exact opposite of how you want to start a productive day.
I also stopped trying to tackle my most difficult tasks right away, and instead used the first hour purely for personal development.
There is a popular productivity theory that says you should do your hardest task first, but that does not work for everyone's energy levels.
I prefer to build momentum with small wins, like making the perfect espresso or finishing a chapter of my book, before diving into deep work.
Small wins create a positive feedback loop in your brain, releasing dopamine that motivates you to tackle the bigger challenges later in the morning.
It is incredible how much our physical biology dictates our productivity, and learning to work with those natural rhythms is the real secret to a great morning.
Hello everyone, it is Emma. Let's review some of the key vocabulary from today's discussion to help you sound more natural in everyday English. First, we used the term game changer. A game changer is an idea, event, or new habit that significantly shifts the current way of doing things. Moving my phone out of the bedroom was a game changer because it completely transformed my mornings for the better. Next, we talked about habit friction. Friction usually refers to physical resistance, but in this context, it means any obstacle that makes it harder to complete a task. If your morning routine is too complicated, there is too much friction, and you will likely give up. Tom also mentioned blurring the boundary when discussing remote work. To blur a boundary means to make the line between two different things unclear. When you work from home, the separation between your personal life and your professional job can easily become blurred. We also talked about playing defense with your time. In sports, playing defense means protecting your goal. In daily life, it means protecting your time and energy from outside distractions and other people's demands. Then we discussed having a fallback plan. A fallback plan is an alternative option you can use when things go wrong. If you oversleep, your fallback plan might be a shorter 5-minute routine instead of your usual hour. Finally, we mentioned a positive feedback loop. This is a situation where a positive action produces a good result, which then encourages you to repeat the action. Getting a small win early in the morning creates a positive feedback loop that keeps you motivated all day long. Practice using these phrases in your own conversations and keep listening to improve your English. Great job today! Listening to natural English like this is the best way to improve your skills. Remember, you can download the free PDF script for today's episode from the link in the description below. It's perfect for reviewing the dialogue and practicing the vocabulary we learned. If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening and keep up the great work. See you next time!